welcome to the first episode of Karo's Court. Today we're going to be talking about the NCAA's 5th year of eligibility rule that they've been considering since January. I want to give you guys a little bit of a background before we talk about the topic or interview someone who this would definitely affect. So, like I said, in January, the NCAA introduced a temporary waiver to allow an additional year of eligibility to all current NCAA athletes who previously attended a JUCO, NAIA, or non-NCAA institution. Also, one of the stipulations was that their NCAA eligibility would have had to expire in the 2024-2025 season. According to several different sources, the NCAA is weighing whether or not to add an additional year of eligibility to all current players across all NCAA sports. Typically, student athletes have only 4 years to complete their eligibility. But in certain circumstances like an injury, a red shirt given to them by their coach, or a global pandemic, athletes can be granted an extra year of eligibility. The discussion around whether all athletes should automatically get a 5th year is still up in the air, and it has a lot of support, especially from females who don't often have the same pro league opportunities and visibility after college. Since this rule hasn't been passed, and from my perspective, it seems to have been put on the back burner, today we're just going to be diving into the what if. What would you do if you were granted a 5th year of eligibility? Would you take it, and why? To help us answer that, I'm sitting down with Skylar Kidd, water polo player at Indiana University. She's going to give us a little insight on her journey, what life is like for her in and out of the pool, her goals, and what she would do if she had one more year of eligibility. Today, I am thrilled to be joined by Skylar Kidd. She's acquired several accolades throughout her career, so I'm just going to share a few of those with you guys before we sit down and talk with her. This season, she scored 62 goals, had 32 assists, scored 94 points, and she had 22 steals in only 26 games. She was a 2025 Delfina All-Mountain Pacific Sports Federation Honorable Mention. She was a 2024 ACWPC All-America Honorable Mention. This is the official organization that represents collegiate water polo coaches in the U.S. Then she was also an MPSF 6-8 Sports All-Academic Team for 2 years in a row. Her freshman year, she was named to the All-MPSF National Team. And there's many more things that Skylar has to be proud about throughout her college career, and I'm super excited to talk to her. She's well-traveled, she's talented in and out of the pool, and I'm excited to speak with her today. So let's get right into it. Hi, Skylar. Thanks for joining me today.
Hello.
Okay, so you just graduated. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. You too.
How are you feeling since graduation?
Honestly, it hasn't really hit me yet.
Right.
Like, I'm more excited. It was a good weekend with the family. Excited I graduated. So.
Yeah. So was your family able to, like, everybody came?
Yeah, so my parents were able to come, and then my little brother, he plays doing baseball at a small school in New Jersey called NJIT.
Oh, cool.
He actually hurt his arm the past weekend, so he wasn't going to travel, so he ended up being able to come. Sad, but like...
Sad, but it kind of worked out for you.
Yeah, bummed for him, but
Yeah.
it was good that he got to come see it with Indiana,
Yeah.
because he hasn't really been able to come out here.
Mm-hmm.
They have their seasons and stuff.
Cool. Do you only have one sibling?
So my older brother, he was visiting his girlfriend in Sweden. Yeah.
Well, how do you pass up Sweden?
Yeah.
What's your favorite memory from college? It doesn't have to be sport.
I mean, there's a ton. I feel like our team, our like answer is always like if you ask like our water polo teams, like being Michigan, because it's kind of like our like rival in a sense. But I would just say me and a couple of my close friends have made such a good friend group, and we've all become such good friends. I feel like I'm just so thankful for all those memories and like finding such a good group of people. I wouldn't change that.
You talking about Michigan being your favorite game?
Yeah.
Talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah. Honestly, so last year when we played them, it was the first time we had beaten them in a super long time.
Yeah.
And we had like our senior little like speeches things that we did, and they played them at our games. And I just like thought it was so cool to be part of something that, not like history, but just like so cool to be a part of something that like hadn't been done in so long.
Yeah.
And like to be able to contribute to that was honestly so special. So that's why I really love that game.
Yeah.
And I think this year we kind of had like a similar thing. We all went into it just like, we're not losing this game. Like we played our best, and we played really like together in a sense. So I feel like those are kind of my favorite games. A good one too is Harvard this year as well. We played them twice. They were hard both times, but it was at our San Diego tournament, and we went into double overtime.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which was so exciting. I was on 2 kickouts, so I was kind of like having to play calm. But one of my teammates like drew a 5-meter, which is where you get like a free shot against the goalie.
Okay.
And then we took it, we scored, we won. Like my teammate Portia took it, and it was so exciting.
Wow, I can
like it gives me goosebumps just talking about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was super fun to be part of it also.
Yeah, so it was your senior night this year against Michigan?
Senior night this year against Michigan. It was their senior night last year when we played with Michigan. Yeah.
So. I saw, like, it was really cute what you did for senior night. Okay, so you wear the robes, the candy stripe robes. Yeah, because we had the pants.
Yeah.
I love the robes.
Because you can't really put pants on, you're like wet.
No, that'd be terrible. And then y'all did like balloons.
Yeah, it was cute. Yeah, we had a lot of
of
seniors. We had 7 girls, and so I feel like last year I think there was 4, so it was kind of a bit longer.
Wow.
But it was really special to see everything with everyone, and my class is super close, so we always talk about that.
Yeah. Did you like live with some of your teammates?
Yeah. So my roommate now that I've played water polo with, we've been roommates since freshman year. So. From the dorms on.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy.
We're more like sisters now, so we bicker like sisters.
No, exactly.
And then my other teammates live like right above me because I'm in a duplex, so
fun.
we're all on the same street too, so we all just walk around. I know.
Perfect.
Nice.
What made you come to Indiana? Because you're from California.
Yes. Okay, so water polo is a super popular sport in California, obviously. So honestly, there's not a ton of teams like out in the Midwest, but my head coach coached at my high school, so I kind of had that connection. And then my assistant coach, who also coached me in high school, came here and was an assistant coach here.
Wow.
So it was kind of just a ton of weird connections, and I wanted to leave, not like the bubble, like the California bubble, but I just kind of wanted to explore. My mom's from the Midwest, from Detroit, so I was kind of just like, looked at it and I was like, maybe I'll go outside of California. And it honestly was one of the best decisions I could have made.
Right, and then now, like, all of the California schools are in our conference.
Yes.
It's the same with water polo.
Yeah, so we are actually in the MPSF.
Okay.
Our team is, so that's like Cal, Stanford, UCLA, USC, ASU, San Jose.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm not forgetting anyone. USC, I don't know. Yeah. But so we've always really gone out west for a lot of our games. But now that the USC and UCLA are part of the Big Ten, I believe, and then Michigan technically, and then us, we could, I think like in the next couple of years, if they add more teams, that it could become like a Big Ten conference rather than like the MPSF. But
so does your family get to come to a lot of games?
yeah, which is so nice.
Yeah.
So they're at a lot of the games. We have like a couple tournaments in SoCal, and then we do a couple games and tournaments in NorCal. So it's kind of balanced out. But we usually once a year go out to the East Coast and play like Brown, Harvard, and them, Princeton. But a lot of our fans, I would say, are just like, our families travel really well, which is nice. And then when people have friends and stuff, they'll come. But I feel like we don't have like a crazy huge. I would say we have like a good amount of people that show up to our games, but nothing like basketball or football.
And I think that is really special. Like, I think that's what college sports is supposed to be, you know, just like camaraderie, supporting your favorite team. You guys kind of have a little sacred thing going on. I really love it. Yeah.
It's cool because I just feel like everywhere I go, I like know someone, which I honestly love because I'll go to games and I'll play like a bunch of my old teammates and I get to go see their parents and I get to see my parents. So that's something I feel like is really special about water polo.
That is really cool. I'm not familiar with water polo at all. So I was trying to watch a lot
The
myself.
positions are kind of similar to basketball.
Really?
If you think about it. Like you have like your center and your guard and then you have like your attackers, but you guys don't call them that. But it's kind of similar like layouts.
Yeah. And how many people are out there?
So it's 6 and then plus the goalie it's 7.
Okay.
So you can't really exceed that, but
yeah. It's so crazy that you're doing all that while treading water. Like, how hard is it actually?
So people will say that a lot, and I feel like I kind of like compare it to like sports where you run a lot. I can't run, so if I were to be like constantly running, maybe I'd be like a better runner. But I feel like once you learn to like swim, and not that it's not hard, but once you got like you're swimming and you're treading down, it's kind of like second nature. If that makes sense. Okay, cool. Still hard, but like
What gets you the most hype? Because I know when I like block a shot, that's one of my favorite things. What's your favorite?
Okay, that's a fun one. Actually.
Really?
Blocking shots because you can like field block.
Yes.
I would say like individually, this is kind of like a thing. Is like I lob a ton, and it's like it's honestly like a little basket. You lob it up, and that's like honestly when I was a freshman, I was pretty small and I wasn't super strong, and so I had to figure out a way how I was gonna score in all these college goalies who were like bigger, stronger, and I was like, I'll start lobbing it.
So wait, do you get points if you assist the person, or what?
Okay, so if you're speaking like points for like the year, yes, you get like a point for an assist and a goal. Okay. But like just for the game, like a goal, you just get a goal if you score. Kind of nothing really else goes towards the score.
What else? I want to know more about.
Okay, let's see. So you have a 6-on-5, which is if somebody gets kicked out. For like a foul. So if you like kick someone or like you're holding somebody's suit and the ref sees it, they'll kick you out. You're out for 20 seconds, which means there's a 6-on-5. So the defense plays like a 5-on-6, and then offense sets up in like a 6-on-5. You can look for like a quick, which is like a quick pass if somebody's wide open because the person that was guarding them was kicked out, or you can kind of set up and like do like different shifts and stuff.
Cool.
I know.
Wow. If I got kicked out for 20, well, I guess maybe it's just like my coach taking me out of the game for fouling.
Not that it's nice, but you get a little break, so sometimes you're like, okay.
Yeah, right, gather yourself, but man, you're like really at a disadvantage. I think I was watching the MPSF championship.
Yes.
It was really intense.
It was a good game.
Yeah, and like the announcers, it was kind of crazy what the announcers were saying. They were like, USC has the clear advantage here. Like they're really
they're straightforward.
Straightforward is the word.
But I feel like because the water polo world is almost a little bit smaller, like a lot of the announcers and people like refs and coaches and everything, they're so familiar with all these players.
Okay.
Especially like those two teams have like are stacked with Olympians, so it's kind of like they're very well-known names in water polo.
Yeah. I don't know if this was like pertinent to your life, but like when they started talking about giving all athletes a fifth year, my phone started blowing up.
Yeah.
Like all my family was like, "Oh my God, you can get a fifth year. Like, are you gonna take it if you get it?" Like, was that the same way for you, or did you hear about it a lot?
Honestly, in the water polo world, you didn't hear about it a ton. But because of like COVID, and then you have like Olympic years are really big in water polo. There's some girls who are in college water polo right now, and they're like 7th year seniors. So I feel like that's just kind of how the past couple of years have worked out.
Okay.
So it hasn't been like oh my gosh, you can get a fifth year now, because I feel like for the past couple of years we've had a lot of like people coming back and stuff. So a lot of like the best players, which there's a ton just throughout like water polo, a lot of them like train with the Olympic team or they're on the like Olympic team. So when the Olympics do happen, they'll take the year off of their college sport, like the college team, and they'll train at the Olympics and then go to the Olympics.
So I guess, I mean, my big question today is like, if you had a fifth year, would you take it?
We ask that a lot, and I feel like I'm like in mix, because I feel like within my 4 years here, and I did everything with no regrets, and I feel like my goal was to just come here and hit the ground running. Yeah. And I feel like that's what I tried to do. So I don't know if I would want, not that I wouldn't want another year, but I feel like I did what I could in my 4 years. Yeah. So I don't know.
Have you been able to capitalize on it as a water polo player?
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely not as big as like basketball, football, or some of the other sports, but there has been stuff that I've tried to do like through NIL or just like little deals that I'll see through like post game or stuff, and I feel like I try to. Me too. I really try to take advantage of that, because I think it's such a cool opportunity for athletes to be like earning like money and like stuff for their like image and likeness. So. I don't know, and I think that's so cool. It was introduced, honestly, when I was a freshman, I believe. So I've had a couple years to like kind of navigate that. But I really liked what I could do, and I feel like the stuff I've done is just like small like ads. Or like I did something with Olipop, which was super fun.
Cute,
And I feel like I have fun just like making content and stuff.
Yeah, me too. I'm having so much fun like doing this.
I mean, I learned that in school a lot, so.
Yeah,
so advertising.
Exactly, so you kind of know what to do. I was going to ask you if you played with others that were fifth year. So you played with 7-year seniors.
Yeah, like against them. Yeah, I mean,
against them.
They're so good. Yeah,
I mean, they've been playing in college for so long.
They're just such like good play. Like, you don't even. Sometimes it's like I can't even do anything.
Exactly. No, Which
sounds bad. Like I always will try my best, and like I always will try and go into it like open-minded to be like, I know all these girls are so good, but you kind of just have to like. Run into the storm, as I would say.
So true. So with the blanket waiver that was passed, athletes that competed at like a JUCO or a non-NCAA NAIA school were able to have an extra year. Okay. So is water polo like a thing outside of like Division I or like NCAA?
Yes, they have like a division. There's like Division II and III schools. Okay. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure there's a couple JUCOs, at least I think in SoCal, that have like teams like Saddleback or something. So I don't know if like how eligibility works with that, but I would assume if you're competing like at an NCAA level or like in like a Division I, II, or III, I think that counts as years no matter what. But I honestly would have to look into the JUCO, because that's I don't know.
Especially like if you're So with this rule and with the way water
Yeah.
polo works, like if you went to a JUCO and then you take a year in between to go to the Olympics per se, and then you go to a college. So I guess you had 4 years after that. So that's like 7 years.
7 years.
So, yeah,
which is crazy.
I know, it is so crazy. Do you aspire to play water polo after college?
Okay, so that's kind of been like what I've been thinking about,
Yeah.
and there's like a couple options after. I would love to go play somewhere internationally because that's kind of like a thing you can do, like on like a pro team or something. So that's something I've been super interested in. Also, just because it's like I played in Italy last summer with one of my roommate, and we went and we kind of just trained up there and played with a team, and it was so fun to just play and like be free in a sense, and kind of just like you remember why you love it, like why you do the sport.
School, just
yes. So that was super fun, and it kind of made me realize that would be something I'd kind of want to do. So I've been reaching out to some teams, but it's kind of a process, and nothing really happens until like December-ish. So.
Oh yeah. Did you have to get an agent, or do you just do it yourself?
No, you just do it. I mean, honestly, word of mouth is pretty big because I know I keep saying this, but water polo is a pretty small world. So you kind of have connections, and then you have like your international teammates because a lot of teams in the U.S. take international girls. So we have like a girl from Spain and then 2 girls from Australia. So they've been honestly helping me out a lot, kind of just talking. Yeah. And then my old assistant coach, she knows somebody who runs one of the clubs there. So kind of just word of mouth.
Yeah. Do you like that? Like how tight-knit it is? Yeah.
I like it, and I like, because I know, like, when we play games and I get to see a lot of my old teammates, I obviously love them so much, so it's fun to see kind of everyone, but.
Yeah. I have a little fun segment that I want to do. I'm calling it the Royal Decree. Okay, and you have to wear this crown. Okay. Yay. I've been looking at it the whole time. Right, no, it's just for you. And I'm going to have you answer just this one question. That looks great. It matches your outfit. It's perfect. Good. Okay. As a senior, what's one piece of advice you give to any athlete trying to make the most of their college career?
This is actually a great question because I always tell it's kind of falling a little bit. Hold it. I would say just do everything with no regrets, and when you're doing something, do it 100%. I feel like that was what I tried to do, and I on my team tried to be someone who had like fun and like brought the vibes up, but I also like wanted my teammates to know like when it's time to lock in and like let's enjoy it. So I would just say like do everything the best you can, and like some days it's not going to be your best because you're just not doing your best, but if you're giving your 110%, like that's all that matters.
That's really good. Okay, perfect. That was an awesome answer. Thank you for being our first Royal Decree. Thank you, Skylar. I'm so glad that you joined me today. I think we had a great conversation.
Thanks for having me.
Everyone, you could go and follow Skylar on Instagram. Thank you everyone for watching and listening to this video. I will link more resources in the description for those who want to dive deeper into today's topic. Follow us on Instagram to see when the next episode will be. And for now, court adjourned.